since the famous Dempsey County Long Count battle in Chicago 8 years before. Everyone's stunned by the fury of Lewis's attack.
What's happening, my people? It's Cat Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Katz, hashtag JBT. Crush the legend, hashtag TWT. Melanin Queen 27. Mike Mazik, Thomas Hill, hashtag JBT, the legendary Thomas Hill, that is. Salute to everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cat Sports, the Box Storian. Today, Fantasy Matchups Monday. Roy Jones Jr. versus the Legends. Roy Jones Jr. versus the Legends. And that's right. You know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's The Boxtorian bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. How's everybody? It's the Monday afternoon edition of Cash Sports The Boxtorian. Goes right up on another big week of boxing history. We're going to start it out with the profile as usual. Adari Pennant in the building. What's up, Adari Pennant? It's good to see you. Yeah, well, that would be a good matchup. Terrence Crawford and Jerron Anderson. Adari, that's one that we could don't have to be a fantasy matchup. Boots and Jerron, if they just act right and give it to us, you know. But salute Adari Pennant in the building. Yeah, today Roy Jones on the hot seat going up against the legends. How y'all like that boxing this weekend, man? Keyshawn delivered. Man, that guy, what's his name? Lemos. Woo, he was huge. Remember that time when after a Loma fight before he fought Devin got in the ring and he said, Loma looked at him and said, "You heavyweight?" Man, I looked at Lemos sitting there with Keyshawn. I said, "Lemos heavyweight." But Keyshawn pulled the old pull counter on him and got him up out of there in the second round. Keyshawn delivered. Now, Boots, wow. Now, I was telling everybody, man, Kern, I don't understand why he ran like that in the first fight, because I had seen Kern mix it up before. And, he got dropped a couple times, but Kern got a good chin on him. And, hey, I told you Kern mixes it up. I don't know why he did that performance in that first fight. But, a lot of people down on Boots right now. But you got to give Kern his props, man. The guy can fight, okay? He loves to rumble. That's why I was just baffled after the first fight, because I had seen Kern fight before, and I was just baffled by the way he ran all night. But that's the Kern I expected to show up the first time, the one that showed up Saturday, you know? Fan-friendly fight, man. He was in the pocket rumbling, right? You know, instead of getting down on Boots, but Boots, it was disappointing because I wanted him to knock him out. But give Kern his props too there. But Bam stole the show, yeah. Bam Rodriguez, yeah. Would he get his man out of there like the second round? Bam did his thing. But what we got coming up this week on Cash Sports The Boxtorian, okay? Today is going to be, of course, fantasy matchups Monday. Roy Jones versus the Legends. And then tomorrow, we're going to look at some of the greatest rematches of all time. You know, that second fight series, not trilogies. You know, where you had that first fight, and for whatever reason you had that rematch. We're going to talk about the second fights, the greatest rematches of all times tomorrow. And then Wednesday, stamina. We're going to talk about stamina, what it means in boxing. You know, is stamina something you're born with, or can you develop stamina? Wednesday on Cash Sports, we're going to talk about it. And then we're going to have some of the fighters with the best gas tanks of all time and some fighters with the worst gas tanks of all time. When it comes to worst gas tanks, I'm not going to mention no names, Caleb Plant. Okay. Thursday, the Boxing in the States series continues with Mississippi. Mississippi. Mississippi Thursday. With the history of boxing in Mississippi, some other significant events that occurred concerning the sport in Mississippi, like famous fights, famous venues, you know, just some other significant things in the state. And then, of course, boxers from Mississippi. That's Thursday. And this week, the profile is, I forgot. It's in my book over there. I'll let you know. Ray Patterson, straight out of New Jersey in the building. Salute, Ray Patterson. How are you today? Man. What's up, RP? Good to see you. Roy Jones versus the Legends. Man. Okay, excuse me. Count from 10 to 0 backwards. I'll be back. Man, I don't know what profile was this week. I'm just finding out who the profile is, that's all. It was last week. Boy. Nice smell. Oh, Evander Holyfield. Okay. Yeah. Evander Holyfield. I'm on the way back. Okay. All right. Okay, sorry about that. Evander Holyfield Friday. The life and career of Evander Holyfield this week, okay? Next week on Fantasy Matchups Monday is Smoking Joe Frazier. Smoking Joe Frazier, like Howard Cosell used to say. But how was everybody's weekend? Everybody have a good one? Everybody had a good, safe one because we all back up in here together. Now, this weekend, man, yeah, it was some good fights. Keyshawn delivered. How about that national anthem by the sisters? That was fire, man. It was a beautiful night, man. Those sisters sang that national anthem. They did their thing, man. They sound some of those famous entertainers that be singing it, you know? Yeah. They did a great job. And Keyshawn, he got his man out of there. What was the second round, right? Yeah, I looked at Lemos, like Loma said, Devin, you heavyweight. I said, Lemos heavyweight. You see his back, man, when they was in that ring? Wow. But Keyshawn got him out of there in the second round. Looked like Lemo swung. It looked like Keyshawn pulled the old pull counter on him, didn't he? Pulled, countered, bam, and that was it. And then it was all downhill after that first knockdown. But elsewhere, Release Aleem beat Derlin Hernandez. That was a 10th round unanimous decision. He threw a shutout. Yeah, he threw a shutout. Troy Osley beat his man, Tyler Howard. 99-91 on 2 cards, 98-92. One judge gave him 2 rounds. Yeah. And Abdullah Mesa, he went down, but I was telling y'all, man, that guy, Vasquez had an 80-something% knockout rate too now. Remember Friday we was talking about it? Yeah, Vasquez is a nice knockout artist, man. Yeah. But Abdullah got up and got him out of there in the second round, you know. Faced adversity early in his career. But he got his man. Austin Deonda, he beat DeAndre Pettis. That was I think it was 8 rounds. 78-74, 77-75 on 2 cards. And Calvin Davis, one of Keyshawn's brother, he got the win. I think it was an 8-rounder. Pretty wide decision. 80-71, 79-72 on 2 cards. One judge gave him 2 rounds. No, 2 judges gave 2, 1 judge gave 1. And Robert Merriweather beat Eric Howard. Shutout. Well, 1 judge gave him 1 round. 60-54. No, 2 judges gave him 1. 59-55 on 2. They're probably the youngest brother, Keon Davis. He beat this man, Jalen Moore. Threw a 4-round shutout, 40-36. Looked good in his first fight, man. Mm-hmm. He's now 1-0. Yep. And yeah, he's that junior middleweight. He's the youngest, but he's the biggest of the 3. And got the frame to eventually be a middleweight, maybe a super middleweight one day. But right now, junior middleweight on the board with his first fight. Now somebody better tell Keon his big brothers ain't gonna be on every card with him now. But off to a good start, 1-0. Mike Rim in the building. What's up, Mike Rim? Salute. And Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more in the building. Mike and Bruce Gas, salute. Today, it's Fantasy Matchups Monday. Roy Jones versus the Legend. Starting in about 10 or 15 minutes. We was just looking at these 2 cards this weekend. Yeah, Lemos came in as a junior middleweight. I think they said he was 155 or something, like 150 something. Yeah, because remember he came in 6 pounds over. I don't think it was on purpose though, because the guy hadn't fought at 135 in a couple of years. He was used to making 140. Yeah, so, yeah. But man, by the time that fight began, Lemos was heavyweight. Remember? Like I said, Loma told Devin, you heavyweight. I say, Lemos heavyweight. Wow. You see his back, man? I was like, hey, is Keyshawn going to hurt this guy, man? But Keyshawn got the job done. And Keyshawn could have backed out of it in front of his fans, his friends, his family. He said no. beautiful night. The sisters did a great job with the national anthem. Yeah, that was nice. But I don't know if he's ready for Tank yet. He's calling for it. That's what you're supposed to do. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. But nah, I don't think so. But then the other card out of Philly, Boots. Bam Rodriguez stole that one. Bam stole the show. Well, I was telling y'all, man, Curran, I don't know why he ran like that first fight, because I've seen Curran fight like he did Saturday, mixing it up in the pocket, their whole fight. Got a good chin. He went down 2 times, wasn't it twice, but he got a good chin on him, man. And yeah, he was tagging Boots too. Mm-hmm. So that's the Curran I expected in the first fight. Didn't win too many rounds. Did he win any? But hey, he was there he came to fight this time. It was a fan-friendly fight, man. Great fight, you know. But yeah, Boots, I was looking for a stoppage, and we need more from Boots. You know, like my friend Custer Legend was saying this morning, we need more from Boots, man. Right now, if they had that 5-on-5, Eddie and Oscar, I got Virgil Ortiz stopping Boots. That Boots, the way Curran was tagging him, Virgil hits much harder than Curran, and Virgil get free shots hit on Boots like that. It's night's over, man. So yeah, man, I need to see some more. I don't know what the deal was, man, with Boots, but hey, he got the win. And give Curran a salute, because Curran came to fight this time. Great weekend of fights. What else happened on the Boots card? Let me see real quick before we start. Of course, Bam, the co-main. Bam should have been the main. Like BVO said, Bam is the king of Philly. I don't know about all that, but he was the king of the card Saturday night for sure. Yeah. Bam Rodriguez. And yeah, Bam got this man out of there in the Jesse Bam Rodriguez in the I think it was the second or third round. Yeah, third round. Here we go. Yeah, and retained the super flyweight titles. Raymond Ford looked good. He threw a shutout against Orlando Gonzalez. Yeah, and Gonzalez is a tough guy, man. Raymond looked good against him though. And Manuel Gallegos beat Khalid Ko. That was a TKO, 9th round. I think it was scheduled for 10, but he got him out of there in the 9th. Just 7 seconds left when they stopped it. Wow. Austin Ammo got the win. Ammo beat Gian Garrido, got him out of there in the 5th round. Yeah. Dennis Thompson got the win over Edgar Ortiz Jr. 2nd round TKO, super bantamweights. And finally, Zagwin Moses beat Michael Ruiz. Unanimous decision. It was super featherweight, 4-round, couple of prospects. Yeah. But great boxing. Now, you know what's happening this weekend, right? You know what's happening this weekend? Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. That's the setup, though, man. Now, Jay Hardcore was telling me this morning that it's a regular fight, goes on box record and everything. Wow. Man. Mike Gastank will probably give up on him after the first round. The man's 58 years old, damn near old as me, man. What the hell is he doing in that fight? 20, what is Jake, like 27? Man. And we will see. But it's a good card overall. We got the big women's rematch, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, junior welterweight. I think Amanda might be going for her 8th division for the time with Manny. I don't think she had junior welterweight before. So yeah, I think she might be going after her 8th division. If she gets that win, I think she ties Manny for the most. Yeah, don't quote me on that, but I think so. I'm gonna have to check it out. Yeah. But we got a big week of boxing history ahead of us. Starting out today with the fantasy matchups, Monday Roy Jones. He's going to be fighting Harry Grab, Charlie Burley, Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray fights everybody in these fantasy matchups. Sugar Ray Leonard, Tom Returns, Michael Spinks. Got like three active guys. I'll tell you them when we get to him. He's going to be up against Andre Ward. Wouldn't that be a good one? Roy Jones and Andre? Well, we're going to see it today. Yeah. But that was, he was on that card Saturday. Coming up. Yeah, this week we're in fight week for, of course, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Heavyweights, 8 rounds. It's a real box rec fight. Wow. I did not know that. I thought it was like a exhibition like Floyd and his brother. I keep forgetting his brother's name. You know, Logan, that's it. It just popped in. Logan Paul. Yeah. Floyd and Logan Paul was just an exhibition. Didn't even pick a winner, but they said this one is a real fight. Wow. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Amanda and Katie Taylor. That's for the Taylor's undisputed women's junior welterweight title. Yeah, I think Serrano's going for her 8th division if she can win. Tying Manny. Like I kept saying, Manny better watch out. And then if Amanda wins that one more, she's the queen, right? And Mario Barrios defending his WBC strap against Abel Ramos, 12 rounds. That Boots Saturday, Barrios might beat him, man. I ain't convinced that Boots is just gonna run to 147 anymore. Like my friend Crystal Legend was saying this morning, man. Barrios, Stanionis, I don't know anymore, man. I don't know anymore. The way Curran was tagging him, man. Then we got Shadeja Green is on here too. Shadeja back in action this weekend. Yeah, we're gonna start talking about fantasy matches Monday in a minute, about 5 minutes. Yeah, Shadeja is on. It's a good card. Shoo is back in action, 8 rounds. They done killed that, died down there talking about Shoo and the Monster. I'm glad they did because the Monster was destroying right there. They're talking about Monster and Bam now, you know. And then that fight is Friday, right? It's the 15th Friday. Today is 11th. Salute to all the veterans out there, you know. I'm an Air Force veteran myself. And salute to all the other veterans that served this country, you know. 12th, 13th. Whoa, the 15th is Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 12th, 13th. Okay, the 15th is Friday. So Jake and Mike is Friday, right? So we got a Riyadh season Saturday. Zerto putting his cruiserweight strap on the line against Chris Billiam Smith. I thought it was Saturday, but yeah, Mike and Jake is Friday. So Friday night boxing again. That's on Netflix. Of course, Riyadh season is on the Zone. Good card. Jose Ramirez, Arnold Barboza Jr. That should be a good one. 12 rounds junior welterweights. 2 contenders. The winner might be in a direct line for a title shot. Yeah. Arthur Collazo versus knockout CP Freshmart. Yeah, that's his name. He got a brother named something Freshmart too. But that's down in the lower classes. That's at strawweight 105. Well, Collazo's WBO strawweight 105. Wow. Okay. Oscar Duarte and Kenneth Sims Jr. Don't sleep on that one. That could be the fight there. Oscar Collazo and Kenneth Sims Jr. Just Do Boxing in the building. What's up, Just Do Boxing? You don't sleep on that one there. 2 hungry fighters, Oscar and Kenneth Sims, trying to get their names out there. Big things could happen for the winner, right? Because they're at 140. That division is hot. Yeah. But Just Do Boxing coming up at 4 p.m. Just entered the building. Salute Just Do Boxing. Fantasy matchups Monday. Roy Jones Jr. versus the Legends today. And yeah, that's just a great card. It's Friday too. And damn, I ain't finished. William Zepeda and Tevin Farmer on the card. And you know, Zepeda, Farmer gave what's his name? Didn't he fight the other guy just fought the other week? Murray Tyler. But yeah, sometimes them boxers give those guys sluggers trouble. Guys like Zepeda just want to stand there and throw hands. Yeah. So that should be can be a good one. Tevin Farmer and Zepeda. Man, this card is full of that Riyadh season card is full of great fights, man. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul Friday. I'm looking at Amanda and Katie Taylor as a big fight on that card, and Durdo and Chris Billion Smith headlining the latest Riyadh season. All right, let's get ready to get started. And don't forget our raffle, 50-50 raffle coming up. Whatever we take in, the winner gets half. Okay, and $5 to get in. $20 gets you 5 chances, right? And Michael Gardner showed the way in the last raffle. He went for the block of 25s. He got 7 of them. It was 3 for 25, right? He had 21 chances, and guess what? It was 3 prizes. He won 2 of them. So get that 5 for 20. If I could get in it, I would get like 10 5 for 20s, right? How many chances they give me? What, 50? Yeah, if I could get in it. But it wouldn't be right for the treasurer, JBT treasurer, to win half the money with it. So no, I'm not getting in it. But yeah, you can. Then you got to play a lot to win. Get them blocks. You don't have to get a block. You know, $5 gets you a chance, but you know, $20 gets you 5 chances, man. And I told you, Michael Gardner showed you. He had 7 blocks, 21 chances, and he won 2 out of the 3 prizes. He got some Kaniki Bear headphones and an Apple 10th generation iPad. And it was Cut Creator, right? Bella McQueen, Cut Creator, got the air fryer. I think it was Cut Creator. Yeah, I believe it was him. Yeah. And yeah. So, and the drawing will be December 21st. That's the day of the it'll be right after the main event. Like 5 minutes after the main event, just like last time, after Bivol and that'll be at 5 minutes after Fury beats Usyk this time. Or I'm picking Fury. Whoever wins, 5 minutes after the fight ends, the drawing will be done. Okay? So you can get your hand raised and get those get half of that money 4 days before Christmas. Little Junior will have a Merry Christmas this year. Or, you know, don't have no little juniors, buy Cash Sports a present with the money, you know, but you will get half of it. December 21st. That's the raffle. So you still got over a month to get in it. Yep. Plenty of time to get in there and win that money. But let's get ready to talk about fantasy matchups Monday. Roy Jones Jr. versus the Legends. Okay. What happens everybody's weekend? Was it good? Mine was okay. Watched the fights. What did I do yesterday? I think I slept all day. Yeah. I think. I can't remember. I don't know. But it was a good weekend. But it's over. And now it's time we get ready to start this big week of boxing history with Fantasy Matchups Monday. Roy Jones Jr. versus the Legend. Let's go with today's show. Okay. Now, you know, Roy Jones let's talk about athleticism first, since we're talking about a super athlete today. And Roy Jones Jr. Talk about athleticism first. Okay. Now, glasses front and center. There you go. Now, it's better without them. The doctor said I don't need them up close, but now I do. Athleticism is a combination of qualities that make someone a good athlete, right? Such as strength, speed, agility, endurance, balance, and coordination. The boxers need to be in excellent physical condition and have a high level of athleticism to master the sport, right? Now, boxing is also considered one of the most difficult sports because it requires a high level of physical ability in many areas. And boxers need to be able to move their hands, feet, and entire body while also reading and defending. Now, boxing can also help improve athleticism in other areas, in other ways, including strength, right? TW Suff 1, what's happening? says Roy Jones versus the white police. But salute TW Suffer 1. Okay, now where was it? TW Suffer 1 in the building. Like and subscribe, please. Okay, yeah. Strength. You know, athleticism can help improve strength. Boxing is a full body workout that can help increase strength and maintain conditioning, balance, and agility. Boxing can help develop balance and agility, which can be useful in other sports. Reflexes and speed. Boxing can help improve quick reflexes and speed. Okay. Ant McQueen in the building. What's up, Ant McQueen? The heavyweights coming in now. Salute, Ant. How are you today? Fantasy matchups Monday. Roy Jones Jr. versus the Legends. And remember now, this is just what I think, so I need some input in the chat about what y'all think, because this ain't necessarily have to be how these fights might go. You know, I'm usually wrong once or twice a year, so, you know, I could be wrong today. You know, give me some input in the chat too. How y'all think they would go? But body synergy. Boxing can help improve balance, hand-eye coordination, and controlled body movement. Core strength. Boxing can provide a focused core workout. So an athletic boxer is a fighter who naturally punches faster, moves around the ring with more ease, and has better reflexes and coordination than his opponents. Now, athletic ability is 85% natural and 15% attained. And Roy Jones Jr. had insane athleticism. His athletic ability allowed him to do things in the boxing ring that the average boxer wouldn't even attempt to do, okay? So now, let's talk about Roy Jones briefly. You know how we do, since he's the subject of he's on the hot seat today. Let's summarize his career briefly. Roy Jones Jr., okay? Now, Roy Jones Jr. held multiple championships in 4 weight classes, including titles at middleweight, super middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight. Now, as an amateur boxer, he represented the United States at the 1988 Summer Olympics, winning a junior middleweight silver medal. You know, he lost the fight controversially, but you know, we talked about that before. You know, the referee was from the same country his opponent was from, which should never happen in the Olympics, man. You know, come on. Anyway, Jones left his mark in the sport's history when he won the WBA heavyweight title in 2003, becoming the first former middleweight champion to win a heavyweight title in 106 years. Like last man to do it was like 1897. I think it was Bob McKinnon. Bob McKinnon? Yeah, I believe it was him. Now, Jones also holds the record for the most wins in unified light heavyweight title fights in boxing history with 12. And Roy Jones Jr.'s boxing style was characterized by his cat-like reflexes, head movement, and lead left hook. Now, head movement. Jones would keep his hands down and use head movement to avoid his opponent's punches. He would bob and weave, slip and counter his opponents. The lead left hook. Jones would fire his lead left hook from his hip with speed and velocity. Opponents would often be shocked when it connected because they didn't see it coming, right? Okay. Hands down style. Jones's hands down style allowed him to hide his punches and fire from a variety of angles. And Jones was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2022. Okay, let's get started. Roy Jones Jr. versus Harry Greb. Harry Greb. A little about Harry first. You know how we do it. A little about Harry first. This will be at 160 middleweight. Now, see, these first few guys, first 4 or 5 guys, is from like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and super middleweight didn't come around until the 60s, so all of these are going to be at middleweight, okay? 160. Now, Harry Greb fought 298 times in his 13-year career. That's an average of 21 times a year. 37 in 1917, 45 in 1919. And he won all 45 of them. Now, despite starting out as a welterweight, Greb frequently squared off against light heavyweights and even heavyweights, right? And Greb had a highly aggressive, fast, and swarmy style of fighting. He was also known for using dirty tactics, including spinning his opponent and using the heel and laces of his gloves. It wasn't above, it ain't dirty if you get away with it, it's not cheap, right? So he wasn't above trying to get away with a few things in there. Okay, so now let's discuss Roy Jones versus Harry Greb, 160 middleweight. Okay, now both at their middleweight peak too, right? Prime versus prime. Now Greb fought the tougher opposition, but did he ever face anyone who had the speed and reflexes and athleticism of Roy Jones? These are two of the best middleweights of their respective eras. Who wins this fight? Now, Greb was very quick and awkward. He was a nightmare matchup for most of his opponents, right? Now, Jones also was one of the hardest fighters to beat in a head-to-head matchup. And he was one of the fastest and most athletic I've ever seen, right? Now, Jones had the ability to outbox and outscore Greb, but when this started to happen during the fight, Greb would turn the fight into a super rough fight, right? Turn it into a super rough affair, with some dirty tactics included, right? And this style could keep Jones in defensive mode and lead to Greb winning the decision. But if the referee does his job and forces the fight to be cleaned up, Jones's athleticism could be the difference. Because both fighters were highly skilled, both were fast, so Jones' superior athletic ability would earn him a razor-thin split decision over Harry Greb. 15 rounds, 8 rounds to 7, 143 to 142. In a 12-round fight, Roy Jones wins 7-5, 115 to 113 over Harry Greb. Roy Jones. Oh, Lord have mercy. I hope you liked and subscribed, TW Stuff, before you left. I'll let you. Probably didn't. I guess he's gone. The message deleted. But if I didn't, send somebody get him gone, please. Yeah. Let's see. Didn't even like and subscribe. Just come in and talk a whole bunch of dumb shit. Didn't even subscribe. Where did people like that come from, man? Huh? Where did it come from? Hey, okay. Let's move on. Okay. Next is Charlie Burley from the Murderous Row. 160, middleweight, 160. Okay, middleweight, 160. Middleweight, 160. Now, Burley was thought to be the best of the highly avoided Murderous Row fighters. Not only did these fighters have the color bar used against them, but many black fighters of their era wouldn't fight them either. Sugar Ray Robinson's manager admittedly kept him away from Burley. Now, Burley competed for 14 years from 1936 to 1950 and never received a title shot, despite having a Hall of Fame career. His style wasn't terribly exciting, but he was a purist's dream. He's been described as a more technical version of Roy Jones Jr. himself. Okay? So, let's examine the matchup between these two legends, Roy Jones and Charles Burley. Thank you, Thomas Hill. Yeah, he needs to be here. Didn't even subscribe, man. Okay, now, at 160, Burley would be the smaller man. but more experienced than Jones at middleweight. Follow me? He's smaller, but he had more experience at middleweight than Roy Jones did. Okay? Now, but I don't think Jones would have a problem with Burley's power. It probably would be a boring fight, with Burley using his better classical skills against Roy's speed and reflexes. Now, it would likely be a very close fight, but I think Jones edges Burley with his ability to flurry and get in and out. Burley was a great fighter who beat some other great fighters. I just don't think he had the power to really trouble Roy. And if you couldn't keep Roy Jones honest, he could usually control the fight against you. Now, this matchup could be similar to the Jones-Hopkins fight. But anyway, Roy Jones Jr. beats Burley by close competitive. Unanimous decision, okay? 8-7, 15 rounds, 143, 142, 7-5, 12 rounds, 115, 113 on all three judges' cards. Roy Jones takes a close but clear unanimous decision, okay? And man, Sugar Ray Robinson is every week he's fighting the legend. He's one of the legends that they fight. I don't think he's ever lost on Fantasy Matchup Mondays yet, but there's Sugar Ray. You know Sugar Ray gonna be on the list. Roy Jones versus Sugar Ray Robinson at 160, middleweight, okay? At middleweight, okay? Now, Roy Jones Jr. versus Sugar Ray Robinson at middleweight is a fire matchup. F-I-Y-A, fire matchup. Now, of course, Sugar Ray is widely considered the greatest of all time. He's the man the mythical pound for pound list was created for, yada, 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 you know. But he took most of his L's at 160, most of his losses at 160. So let's examine Mr. Pound for Pound versus Roy Jones Jr. Okay? Now, although I think that Sugar Ray was overall more classically skilled than Roy Jones, Roy was faster, and specifically the faster puncher. In fact, I think Roy Jones Jr. has the fastest hands of any boxer ever. Now, Sugar Ray was a natural welterweight. He turned pro as a lightweight, briefly, but his best fights came as a welterweight. Now, Roy Jones was a natural super middleweight. He turned pro as a junior middleweight, and he won world titles in the middleweight through heavyweight divisions. But his best performance weight as a boxer was as a super middleweight. Okay, he was as a super middleweight. Now, Sugar Ray had problems with unorthodox boxers. Okay, he lost the middleweight championship to Randy Turpin, the English boxer with an unusual style. And late in his career, Sugar Ray lost to Gene Foreman, who was just an incredibly strong, well-conditioned, rough, tough mauler with no fine boxing skills. In Roy Jones, Sugar Ray would be facing an opponent who was not only faster and bigger, but who also had a very unusual improvisational style. And Roy's best punches were also quite unusual. He would often lead with a jumping left uppercut, but he could get away with it because his hands were so fast. Roy Jones Jr. wins this matchup by unanimous decision. Sugar Ray Robinson suffers his first loss on Fantasy Matchups Monday to Roy Jones Jr. Close but clear unanimous decision. Sugar Ray goes down. Man, that's going to be leading news on ESPN tonight. Sugar Ray goes down in Fantasy Matchups Monday. Next, Jake LaMotta. That's Jake on the right. See him? Jake LaMotta. Okay, Jake LaMotta. Okay. 160, middleweight. Because remember, super middleweight didn't start till the 60s, and all these guys fought before the 60s. So all this is at middleweight, 160. But we're going to get to some 168s. But 160. Okay. Now, Jake LaMotta is known for his 6-fight series with Sugar Ray Robinson that he competed in during his Hall of Fame career. Now, due to his hard style of fighting, Jake often took as much punishment as he dished out in an era of great middleweights. Yeah, he fought in the decade of the greatest for middleweights. Yeah. Now, Jake had a thick skull and jaw muscles, right? And he was able to absorb incredible amounts of punishment over the course of his career. And he's thought to have one of the greatest chins in boxing history. Yeah, like the Canelo chin. Well, Canelo got one of them Jake chins, but Jake was before Canelo. Now, I picked Roy to come out with the win against Jake. Now, not because Jake wasn't a good fighter. He had a Hall of Fame career, but the Raging Bull wouldn't be able to use one of his best weapons that worked against Sugar Ray Robinson, which was his physical strength, pressure, and roughhouse tactics. Now, Jake was good at it. He was a smart fighter at that style, but he just wouldn't be able to dominate and push Roy Jones around in those moments when he could find Roy, which wouldn't be that often. Roy was naturally bigger than Sugar Ray, and his power was similar. And one key thing to consider is Jones never really fought anyone aggressive and brought relentless pressure for the entire fight like Jake LaMotta did. But Roy would fight smart, and Jake would be too tough to stop now. So Prime Jones pulls out a decision, but it won't be easy at all. 15 rounds, 9-6, 144, 141, 12 rounds, 8 rounds to 4, 116 to 112 for Roy Jones Jr. Okay. All right. Fantasy matchups Monday. Roy Jones Jr. versus the legend. Next, Rocky Marciano at heavyweight. Yeah, Roy went up to heavyweight. There's Rocky on the left. Roy went up to heavyweight. Rocky Marciano at heavyweight. Now, Rocky Marciano was as tough as nails. After an 8-year career, he retired with a record of 49 wins, no losses, 43 wins by knockout. I think that's like 87% knockout rate. I'll tell you. Yeah, 87.7. So 88, might as well say 88, 87.7. 88% knockout rate for The Rock, okay? And he became the first heavyweight champion to retire undefeated. And this matchup against Roy Jones could yield mixed results. If Marciano could catch Roy, he would drop him like a bad habit and win the fight. But catching Roy Jones Jr. in his prime was nearly impossible. Jones would use his superior speed and God-given gift to pluck away at Rocky and potentially cut him up badly. And as long as Jones was able to keep Marciano at arm's length, he would cruise to an easy decision. The fight could be similar to the title fight between Marciano and Jersey Joe Walcott, where Marciano was getting completely outboxed and outpointed. But he caught up with Walcott in the 13th round and stopped him with one right hand, right? One right hand shot. But Jones was much faster, way more athletic, and better defensively than Walcott, and likely doesn't get caught as Walcott did. And Roy would finish outboxing Marciano and box his way to a unanimous decision. 15 rounds, 10 rounds to 5, 145, 140, 12 rounds, 9 rounds to 3, 117 to 111. Roy Jones over Rocky Marciano. Salute, Miss Cass. How are you today? Good to see you. I haven't seen you since what, about 10 minutes to 2? Not that. Okay, let's move on. Next is King Carlos Monzon. There's King Carlos Monzon. 160. Now, Carlos 168 was there then because Carlos was in the 70s, but I think he might have been at middleweight his entire career. I'm not sure. Bruce Gass would know. But this one is at middleweight. Roy Jones Jr. versus Carlos Monzon at middleweight. Now, Monzon reigned as the undisputed middleweight world champion for 7 consecutive years, from 1970 to 1977, successfully defending his title 14 times. You remember, like I told you, From 1970 to 1987, Carlos Monzon or Marvin Hagler was undisputed middleweight champion for 14 of those 17 years. Them two just ran middleweight from 1970 to 1987. Yeah. Now, Monzon only lost 3 of 100 total fights during his career, with all 3 losses coming in the first 2 years of his 14-year career, and all 3 were later avenged. And Monzon was known for his precision, subtlety, and heavy hands. He used simple combinations to great effect, avoiding overcomplicating his punches. And Roy Jones better keep his hands up when he's going up against Carlos, because Carlos will land that right hand continuously with his precise punching if Roy wants to run around with his hands down against Carlos. Okay. Now, another problem for Jones in this matchup would be his activity level, right? Now, Roy was athletic and all that, but he only threw about 40 punches a round, and he wasn't all that accurate with them. But see, that athletic ability let Roy get away with stuff like that, remember? Now, early in the fight, Jones would use his legs to stay away, but Monzon was a master at cutting off the ring and forcing his opponents to fight for the entire round. And he was a very physical fighter and not above using tactics like rabbit punches, forearms to the throat, and pushing and shoving, among other illegal tactics, okay? Now, Jones's conditioning is going to be a lot different by the late rounds than it was early in the fight. Those busy legs and early advantage in speed is going to disappear. Plus, Monzon got stronger as the fight wore on and simply did not fade. Monzon drained many of his opponents' gas tanks by forcing them to fight every second of every round. Monzon's off-the-charts pressure would cause Jones to fade late. King Carlos Monzon wins a close, competitive split decision. Carlos Monzon over Roy Jones, okay? Yeah, picking King Carlos, and he's going to wear Roy down. He had a serious gas tank. He was a pressure fighter, relentless, and wasn't above using some dirty tactics. Okay, and he fought every second of every round, excellent at cutting the ring off. Drained. He forced other fighters to fight every second of every round. And he would drain Roy and outpoint him. Close fight, though. Probably like 8-7, 143, 142 for 15. 12-7-5, 115, 113. But King Carlos wins this one. Okay. Next, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Everybody hitting the appreciation button. Yeah, it looks like it. Appreciate you. Marvelous Marvin Hagler is next. Okay. Did I miss some comments? No. Okay, yeah. There's Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. Fantasy matchups Monday. Roy Jones versus the Legends. Roy Jones versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Of course, they're middleweight because Marvin Hagler never fought anywhere else. His entire career was fought in that one division, middleweight. Now, Hagler was heavily ducked throughout the early 1970s. Like Joe Frazier told him, he had 3 strikes working against him. He was a southpaw, he was good, and he was black. But once he became champion, he held the undisputed championship for 7 consecutive years, from 1980 to 1987. He made 12 successful defenses during that reign. Hagler was primarily trained in the southpaw stance, though he was naturally right-handed. This enabled him to be a boxing switch hitter. He was also known for his controlled ferocity and style. Now let's look at Jones versus Hagler, okay, at middleweight. Kensaw Love 1 in the building. What's up, Kensaw Love 1? Good to see you today, my friend. Fantasy matchups Monday. Roy Jones Jr. versus the Legends. Right now, Roy Jones Jr. versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Okay, we just at the getting ready to talk about it. Just looked at a little bit about Marvin, but now, okay, let's look at Jones versus Hagler at 160. Now, at their best, Hagler beats Jones at middleweight. Bernard Hopkins went 12 rounds with Roy Jones and couldn't beat him because of Jones' extraordinary speed. But Jones could not hurt Bernard either. Now, Hagler had a chin at least as good as Hopkins. He had a lot more speed and athleticism than Hopkins did. Now, I think Hagler walks Jones down and stops him. Okay? Roy Jones was a generationally great fighter, but his best weight was not middleweight. It was super middleweight. Marvin Hagler was also generationally great, and not only was middleweight his best weight, it was the only weight he ever competed at professionally. And he is one of the greatest middleweights ever. At 160, Marvin Hagler stops Jones late. Okay? 10 to 15 rounds, 10 to 12 rounds. Hagler catches up with him and stops it. Gregory Pratt in the building. What's up, GP? Never seen you in a while. And Jarrell Hattie in the building. It's Fantasy Matchups Monday. Today, Roy Jones Jr. versus the Legends. Roy Jones going up against 15 legends from different areas. Gregory Pratt, hashtag JBT. And Jarrell Hattie in the building. Salute, Jarrell. How are you today? Okay, let's talk about who's next. Yeah, Marvin Hagler stops Roy Jones. Okay, between 10 and 15 or 10 and 12. That's what I got on it. And like I told y'all, I'm wrong once or twice a year, so let me see what y'all think in the chat about some of these matchups. Okay, but anyway, who's next? Marvin stops him. Sugar Ray Leonard is next. Okay, not Gasport. There's Sugar Ray Leonard. Yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard versus Roy Jones versus Sugar Ray Leonard. Okay, let's see how that goes. A little bit about Sugar Ray first. Now, Leonard is one of the 5 fighters who won titles in 5 or more weight classes. Sugar Ray is one of the greatest and most popular fighters of all time. Sugar Ray had a storied boxing career, including an Olympic gold medal in the amateurs and being a member of the legendary Four Kings. In this fantasy matchup, Roy Jones probably beats Sugar Ray for 2 reasons: style and size. Okay, Roy probably wins this fight because of style and size. Stylistically, Roy has the ability to outbox Sugar Ray, right? Now, Prime Leonard got pretty handily outboxed by Thomas Hearns for 12 or 13 rounds before landing the knockout punch. Now, can he land that punch on Roy? Possibly, but it's not known if Roy was always chinny or was it something that showed up due to boxing being weight drained later in his career. Okay, now size. The other reason I think Roy beats Sugar Ray: size differential. Now, while you might look at height and reach and say that they look pretty close, middleweight was Leonard's ceiling, while it was Roy's minimum weight, right? They did start at junior middleweight, but middleweight was his minimum, okay? Now, Roy is a naturally bigger fighter who fought as high as heavyweight, and his best weight was probably light heavy, or super middle, between super middle and light heavy. Even if you think Sugar Ray is a better fighter, the old saying goes that a good big man beats a great little man. Roy is bigger, faster, and had one of the 2 styles that beat Ray. Jones wins by unanimous decision, but close. 115, 110, 145, 140, or 8-4, 116, 112. Little wide, but close. Okay, next. Fantasy Matchups Monday. Oh, appreciate it, Melanie Queen 27. Let's Talk Fashion in the building. What's up, Let's Talk Fashion? How are you today? It's Fantasy Matchups Monday. Roy Jones Jr. versus the Legends. Okay, he just beat Sugar Ray. He lost to Hagler, lost to Carlos Monzon too. Beat Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson took his first loss on fantasy matchups Monday today. It's big news. That's probably going to be on all the sports networks tonight. Sugar Ray Robinson takes his first loss on fantasy matchups Monday. Yes, that's a big story for today's sports. Okay. Now, next is Michael Spinks. Did I do Sugar Ray Leonard? Yeah. And let's talk fast and go. Distracted. Yeah, he beat Sugar Ray by unanimous decision. Michael Spinks is next. There's Michael Spinks and Larry Holmes. Okay, Michael Spinks. Okay, fantasy matchups Monday. Roy Jones Jr. versus Michael Spinks. Oh, him and Sugar Ray was at 162. Now, Michael Spinks is at 175, light heavyweight. Okay? Yes. Michael Spinks and Roy Jones is at light heavyweight. Okay? Now, Spinks won an Olympic gold medal in the same Olympics and on the same United States Olympic boxing team as Sugar Ray Leonard was on, right? Remember that one? And Spinks won his first 31 professional fights before losing the final fight of his career to Iron Mike Tyson, who's later on this list later on too. Now, Spinks became the first reigning light heavyweight world champion to win the heavyweight title. Because now Roy went from light heavyweight to heavyweight, but Spinks was still a light heavyweight champion when he won it. That's the difference. And Spinks is the brother of former world heavyweight champion Leon Spinks and the uncle of Corey Spinks, a former welterweight and junior middleweight champion. Now, who would have won a light heavyweight fight between Roy Jones Jr. and Michael Spinks? Who would have won? Let's see. Now, I like Spinks in this matchup, right? Because he's the naturally bigger man, right? Good big man beats a great small man or whatever. Now, Jones did beat some heavyweights, but his crowning achievement there was a win over applauding John Ruiz, one of history's worst heavyweight champions, okay? Now, Spinks is a top 5 all-time light heavyweight. He beat Larry Holmes twice at heavyweight. And while it wasn't quite Holmes in his prime, he was still actively fighting, and he had a lot left. Now, I don't think Spinks ever beat Holmes, but hey, the judges thought so. That's what counts. Now, it's very arguable, but a fair and credible argument can be made that Michael Spinks is the best light heavyweight of all time. Now, in this fight with Jones, I can see Jones building a lead early with his speed and movement. Spinks would catch up on the cards in the middle rounds by pressing Jones a lot and going to the body when he could. Spinks also would have height and reach advantages over Jones. Spinks was 6'2.5" with a 76-inch reach, while Ray was 5'11" with a 74-inch reach. Spinks' awkwardness would create problems for Roy, and the jab matters. And if anyone could land their jab on Jones, it would be Michael Spinks. And finally, we can't forget the Spinks jinx, that great right hand. Roy wasn't built to exchange power punches with a fighter like Michael Spinks. In a close, competitive, back and forth fight, Spinks outworked Jones down the stretch to win a razor-thin split decision. 15 rounds, Spinks wins 8 rounds to 7, 143 to 142, 2 cards. Jones wins on one judge's card, 8 rounds, 7, 143, 142. 12 rounds, Spinks wins 7 to 5, 115, 112, 113. Roy Jones wins on one judge's cards. Same score, 7-5, 115, 113. Spinks wins this matchup in a razor-thin split decision over Roy Jones Jr. Okay? Next, Thomas the Hitman Hearns. There he is. Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Roy Jones versus Thomas the Hitman Hearns. 160. Okay? This matchup is at 160. We got like 6. I did 16 today. I got 3 active boxes too, but you'll find them out when I get to them. Stick around. See who the 3 active boxes is. Now, Thomas Hearns against Roy Jones. Roy Jones against Thomas Hearns, 160. It's Roy's day. Roy first. 160. Now, Hearns had a 29-year professional career, competing from 1977 to 2006, right? He's another one of the 5 boxers that won titles in at least 5 weight divisions: welterweight, junior middleweight, middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight. In fact, Hearns was the first to accomplish this feat, right? And Hearns was the great trainer Emanuel Stewart's prized pupil and the biggest name to come out of the legendary Kronk Gym over there in Detroit. And Hearns was also a member of the legendary 4 Kings of boxing. And the Hitman was known for its fluid style, lightning speed, and devastating punching power. So who wins? Prime Roy Jones Jr. versus Prime Thomas the Hitman Hearns at middleweight, 160. Okay, let's look at it. Now at middleweight, I think this would be a pretty close fight, but I give the edge to the Hitman. I believe that statement, styles make fights, and I don't think Jones' style matched up well in this matchup. I think a more aggressive fighter would have a better chance against Hearns, right? More aggressive than Roy Jones. Jones never faced anyone like Hearns with that combination of speed and power and that long reach. Hearns had significant size advantages, right? 3 inches in height and 4 inches in reach. And Hearns didn't have many issues against the counterpunching style that Jones brought to the table. In fact, when Jones is on his back foot looking to counter that counter, that might be when Hearns picks him apart with that long reach and all-time great jab, right? And there also might not be as big of a speed advantage for Jones as some people might think. Jones was certainly fast, but being and looking fast against fighters at 175 is much different than looking and being that way. I did that backwards. Being and looking fast against fighters at 160 is much different than looking and being fast against fighters at 175. And I don't think Jones was as fast as Sugar Ray Leonard. Anyway, I think Hearns jabs and overhand rights his way to a decision win over Jones, possibly a late stoppage. I'm not sure if Jones's chin holds up if Hearns catches him with a big right hand coming down the stretch. Hearns wins at middleweight, but I would lean toward Jones if they met at a higher weight. Yeah, Hearns wins a close fight at middleweight. The Hitman. The Hitman. The Hitman. Hitman Thomas Hearns. The Bodhisattva Cobra. Winding down. Next is Evander Holyfield. Roy Jones versus Evander Holyfield. Okay. Gregory Pratt says, no. I can see Hearns getting clipped in between his wide shot. But if you keep it technical, the jab will play a major part. Great point, GG. Great point from Gregory Pratt. And yeah, I can see that. I can see Hearns getting caught between them wide shots. Yeah, that is a great point, GG. Yeah, that is a great point. Okay. Next, we have Evander Holyfield against, Roy Jones against Evander Holyfield. Okay. At heavyweight. Now they both went cruiserweight, like heavyweight, cruiserweight, but this one's gonna be at heavyweight. Roy Jones Jr. against Evander Holyfield at heavyweight, right? Now Holyfield was the undisputed world champion at both cruiserweight and heavyweight during his 27-year professional career. And the real deal is the only boxer in history to be undisputed in 2 weight classes in the 3-belt era. WBA, WBC, IBF. I think the WBO was around, but the other 3 wasn't recognizing them yet. Okay, so Evander had WBA, WBC, IBF. And he was a member of the 1984 Olympic boxing team, one of the best men's Olympic boxing teams ever assembled, right? Now, he came home with a bronze medal after he knocked out his opponent in the second round, but was controversially disqualified by the referee for hitting after the bell. And now, the referee in the Olympics, this should never happen. The referee from the same country as the guy Evander was fighting. It's enough amateur referees, but that should not happen. And he ended up cheating Evander, right? I don't know why the United States Olympic, why the people in charge of the Olympics, United States Olympic Committee, let that happen, man. Why they let Evander get in there against a fighter and a person from his country refereeing the damn fight? I don't know why they allowed that. They have a say in stuff like that. They should never have allowed that. And the man ended up cheating. But anyway, let's look at what happens when Roy Jones and Evander Holyfield meets at heavyweight. Yep, heavyweight. Now, we got good time. Now, I want to get some leak time at the end so we can get some people to see what they think. But anyway, I would favor Holyfield in a hypothetical matchup against Jones at heavyweight due to Holyfield's size advantage, durability, and proven track record against top heavyweights. Plus, like I said before, a good big fighter beats a good small fighter. Now, while the hand speed and reflexes of Jones would have dazzled the crowd, he would have felt and been hurt by the firepower of Holyfield. I think even an older Evander Holyfield would walk Roy Jones Jr. down and beat on him against the ropes. I can see Jones starting out fast and scoring consistently early with head punches, but Holyfield would push through Jones' early offensive onslaught and beat on Jones's body. The heavyweight Roy Jones Jr. was much slower than the middleweight version. Holyfield wins by late TKO. Yeah, Holyfield stops him late. Holyfield stops him late. Man. That's what I think. Jarrell Haggis said, you saying he can't beat Hagler. What are you going to do with Holyfield? He didn't beat neither one of them, Jarrell. I would say Holyfield stops him. Holyfield stops him. I have Hagler and Holyfield over Roy Jones. Yeah. Because all that speed and stuff at middleweight, super middleweight, is not going to be there at heavyweight. It's just, the law of averages. He's going to be much slower at heavyweight. He's going to have the athleticism and all that stuff, but that don't mean, athleticism don't mean speed. Not going to be there at heavyweight. Okay, I got Holyfield stopped. Okay, next, Roy Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson. Roy Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson. But good question, Jarrell. Good question. Roy Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson. Of course, at heavyweight. Mike ain't fighting nowhere else, right? Now, during his career, Mike Tyson has been referred to as the baddest man on the planet. He reigned as the undisputed world heavyweight champion from 1987 to 1990. He won his first 19 professional fights by knockout, 12 of them in the first round. And he holds the record for the youngest boxer ever to win the heavyweight championship at 20 years old. Now, Iron Mike's fighting style was aggressive, explosive, and characterized by the peekaboo technique. And Tyson is scheduled to compete this coming weekend, Friday, in a match against boxer / promoter Jake Paul, right? And I found out from Jay Hardcore this morning that it's a real fight. I'll be on BoxRec and everything. Wow. But okay, let's examine Roy Jones Jr. versus Iron Mike Tyson. Prime versus prime in the heavyweight division. Okay, let's look at that. Okay, let's look at that. Okay. Now, Roy was probably somewhere around 170 pounds tops in his very prime, while Mike Tyson was in the neighborhood of 220 pounds in his very prime. And the 50-pound weight difference between the two is extra significant. Now, Roy had a 3-inch reach advantage that he would definitely attempt to utilize. Jones, of course, was one of the fastest, if not the fastest boxer who ever stepped into the squared circle. Tyson is one of the fastest heavyweights whoever fought. But speed does go to Jones, hands down in this matchup. Now, Jones beat John Ruiz to win the heavyweight championship. And Ruiz is definitely no Mike Tyson. Now, I'm not saying Jones couldn't pack a wallet as a heavyweight, but Mike Tyson would likely have zero respect for Roy's power and just walk right through him. While Tyson was a middle distance fighter, he would wade in and just beat Jones up, okay? Roy Jones is one of the best boxers ever, but there's a reason middleweights fight other middleweights or super middleweights fight other super middleweights and don't fight heavyweights like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson wins by devastating, destructive, wife in the audience crying type knockout. About the 6th round. Ain't gonna take him long neither. Mike Tyson by knockout. Devastating knockout over Roy Jones. He wouldn't have no. Now that was the thing exhibition they did. I'm talking about Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, prime versus prime. Like 1990s Mike Tyson. 1987 to 90 Mike Tyson would absolutely destroy Roy Jones, man. Would absolutely destroy. Okay? Like I said, wife in the audience type crying type of knockout. Like Manuel Marquez did Manny. Worse than that. Okay. GP says the punch comes from Roy, will not phase Tyson at all. That's very true, GP. Very true. Prime. That's right, GP. Prime versus prime. Mike wouldn't even respect him. You know, Mike usually fought mid-range on in. He would just walk right in there on Roy. You know, yeah. That would be devastating. Okay, next. This is Fantasy Matchups Monday. Roy Jones versus the Legends. Next is Roy Jones versus SOG, Andre Ward. Okay, got a couple more. We got 3 active fighters coming up after this. Stick around and see who the 3 active fighters is. 3 fighters currently active coming up. But Roy versus Andre is at 168. 168. Okay? Yeah, we got good time. We're going to get a little late time too. 168. Now, Andre Ward retired from boxing as an undefeated world champion. That's something that doesn't happen too often. Even more impressive, Ward walked away from the sport at 33 years old and never returned as an active boxer. Yeah, that's even more amazing. He stayed away. Now, Andre won the Super 6 World Boxing Classic Tournament final to unify the WBA and WBC titles in 2011. Yeah, the tournament actually lasted 2 years, started 2009 to 2011 was the final. Now, Ward also won gold in the light heavyweight division at the 2004 Olympics in Athens, Greece. Now, Ward used his speed and ring intelligence to control distance and pace in fights, while maintaining high punch accuracy and counter-punching skills. Now, Andre was a natural left-handed fighter who boxed from the orthodox stance, right? So his best punches typically came from his strong hand, the lead left, right? Because he was left-handed, including a sharp piston-like jab, which he was effective with to the body as well as the head. Okay, so who wins? Prime Roy Jones Jr. versus Prime Andre Ward at 168. Okay, at 168. GP say Ward is Tava on steroid. Okay, Tava on steroid. Okay, let's talk about this one. Now, watching Andre Ward was like watching a How to Box video. But again, I can't say this enough. Roy Jones Jr. is probably the most athletic boxer ever to step into the ring. Now, since Jones grew up in a boxing family, he had excellent fundamentals too. He just used his athletic ability at times to override the fundamentals. Now, I would favor Prime Roy Jones Jr. in this matchup, but I wouldn't be surprised if Prime Andre Ward came out on top. Now, they would both likely be the best the other ever faced, and this would have been a good competitive fight. It would be similar to Jones-Hopkins 1, a tactical fight, with Jones winning due to his speed, right? Yeah, I would give this particularly his hand speed. Yeah, that would be the difference in this fight. Jones' speed, because Andre is deliberate, technical, but I think Jones' hand speed would get him a close decision. Both 40 to 12 round era, so 7 rounds to 5, 115 and 113 for Roy over Andre, but close. Could flip around and be Andre over Roy. Now I got 3 active guys. 3 guys that still actively fighting, going up against Roy Jones. First, you know Canelo was one of them. Y'all knew Canelo was one of them, right? Let's talk fast and got Roy beating SOG. Yeah, me too. No. Yeah, I got Roy. I had Roy. Yeah, I had Roy. Yeah, I agree. Let's talk fashion. The speed would be the difference. It'll be a very close matchup. Now, Roy Jones Jr. versus Canelo Alvarez at 168. 168, okay? Now, Canelo is widely thought of as one of the greatest Mexican boxers of all time, arguably the greatest. He's the current face of the sport of boxing. And as of October 2024, last month, he is ranked as the world's 6th best active boxer pound for pound by Ring Magazine, 2nd by BoxRec, and 7th by the Transnational Boxing Rankings Board, right? And Canelo is consistently one of the world's highest paid athletes and one of boxing's biggest ever pay-per-view stars. Now, Canelo is known as an excellent counterpuncher, being able to exploit openings in his opponent's guards while avoiding punches with head and body movement. He is also known as a formidable body puncher, and he has one of the best chins of all time. Okay, Prime Roy Jones Jr. versus Prime Canelo Alvarez at 168. Let's talk about it. Okay. Now, as good of a fighter that Canelo has developed into during his career. Excuse me for that noise rapping these pages. Roy Jones Jr. was just on a different level, especially in the 90s. Now, because of his lightning-like reflexes, Jones was able to do things that others could not, wouldn't even attempt. For instance, it wasn't unusual to see Jones throw 3 left hooks in a row. He could pot shot an opponent without setting it up with a jab because of his speed and reflexes were so incredible. Now, he didn't pay a price for being so unorthodox because he was good enough to get away with it. Canelo, on the other hand, is more of the stereotypical Mexican fighter, although on a much more elite level. Now, who can deliver as well as take a good shot. Canelo's also a very strong inside fighter. Jones versus Canelo would have been a great event to see and an entertaining match, right? Now, punching stance for Canelo couldn't be ruled out since Jones didn't have a great chin. But the likely result of this fight would be a Jones unanimous decision because of his incredible talent. Roy by a wide unanimous decision, like 8-4. What's that? 116, 112? Yeah, 8-4 Roy Jones. Okay. Next, we winding down. Link time coming up. Roy Jones Jr. versus Artur Beterbiev at 175. Roy Jones Jr. versus Artur Beterbiev at 175. What's up, Define Arnie One? How are you today, bro? It's Fantasy Matchups Monday, Define Arnie One. Roy Jones Jr. versus the Legends. We're down to the final 2. 3 active fighters. Canelo was 1. Now, Roy Jones Jr. versus Artur Beterbiev. What y'all think about that? Roy Jones Jr. versus Artur Beterbiev, man. Let's look at it. Let me get a drink first. Don't leave. I got to take a drink of my juice. Oh, that's good. Well, actually, it's Mountain Dew in a juice bottle. Okay. There we go. Roy Jones Jr. versus Artur Beterbiev. A little bit about Artur. Now, Beterbiev is currently the undisputed world champion at light heavyweight, earning that distinction last month when he outpointed Dmitry Bivol. Beterbiev is the first 4-belt undisputed champion at light heavyweight. And he has won 20 of his 21 professional fights by knockout, right? I gotta know. That is a knockout rate of. Turn the thing on, Cass. Knockout rate of 95% for Archer, okay? Yeah. The calculator would work better if I turn it on, right? Okay, yeah, 95% for Archer. Okay, let's continue. Won 20 of his 21 fights by knockout. Now I gotta find out where it was at. Damn. There we go. Okay. Yeah, his last fight against Bivol was the only fight to go the distance, right? Now, he had more than 300 amateur fights, including representing Canada at the 2008 and 2012 Summer Olympics. Didn't get a medal. Now, Beterbiev is known for his strength and relentless aggression. He combines the Soviet boxing style with his aggressive approach to pressure fighting. His broad stance gives him a foundation for delivering punches and improving his balance and power. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But his broad stance gives him a foundation for delivering punches and improving his balance and power generation. Now let's talk about this intriguing matchup, because it is intriguing. Roy Jones Jr. and Artur Beterbiev, very intriguing. Greg Pratt says, murder. Roy will get murdered because he doesn't have enough pop to keep the Russian off him. Okay, listen to this, GP. Listen to this. I beg to differ. Listen close. Now, basically, Roy from the 90s against whatever version of Beterbiev in his prime was, because as good as Beterbiev looked, he's 39, he could be in his prime right now. You know, but anyway, obviously, Jones should be the favorite because of the speed and athleticism he had in his prime and how he was able to hit defensive masters like James Toney at will. Now, there are a few questions that need to be answered before this matchup can be decided. Number one, is Jones just as fast at light heavyweight as he was at super middleweight? Nearly. Number two, how does he deal with the size of Beterbiev, who is a pretty big light heavyweight, with athleticism and movement? And number three, can he take any potential shots from Beterbiev? Now, Roy's chin was suspect, but no one was able to hit him cleanly enough to test it. Could Beterbiev manage to test it with his power and combinations? Jones could move, which a lot of his light heavyweights from today that Beterbiev faces cannot. You listen, GP? Jones can move like a lot of these light heavyweights Beterbiev is facing today cannot. Okay? Class is in session. Cannot. And after watching Beterbiev versus Bivol, I picked Roy Jones Jr. to win this fight. Bivol managed to go the distance with Beterbiev and got the nod on one judge's card, arguably winning the fight, right? Now, Bivol is a master boxer, but he is no Roy Jones. So if Bivol Beterbiev for 12 rounds and arguably win the fight, then Roy Jones wins by clear unanimous decision. Roy Jones by clear unanimous decision over Beterbiev. Okay. Yeah, I just watched Bivol put up oh, wait a minute. Damn, sensational performance against the Russian with great punches and never rocked. Yeah. I ain't saying they're gonna rock it. I'm saying Roy would win a unanimous decision. You know, we win a unanimous decision. Remember, Bivol one-on-one judges cards now. It wasn't unanimous. It wasn't unanimous. Okay. And speaking of Bivol, but appreciate the input in the chat, GP. That's what I want. Appreciate it 1,000%, GP. Yeah. That's good. Back and forth. Appreciate you, GP. And finally, it's Bivol. Speaking of Bivol, he's the final matchup. Bivol, okay. Let's talk about Bivol. At 175, of course. At 175. Okay. But all good points, GP. Yeah. All good points. But GP is a knowledgeable boxing guy anyway. Okay, Bivol, 175, okay? Now, Bivol was WBA light heavyweight champion for 5 consecutive years from 2019 to 2024 before losing it in an undisputed match with Artur Beterbiev last month. We just talked about that, remember? Now, Bivol is ranked in the top 10 pound for pound by Ring Magazine, BoxRec, the Transnational Boxing Rankings Board, ESPN, the Boxing Writers Association of America, and Cash Sports The Box Historian. All of those are big, prestigious boxing organizations. And Cash Sports, that's the one the rest of them look at and, take their lead by whatever Cash Sports rankings. They kind of, look at him and, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, Bivol's boxing style is a blend of Eastern European technique and tactical intelligence. It's characterized by a number of key elements, including stance, jab, movement, and defense. Now, Bivol's style is the result of his experience in over 280 amateur fights, right? That's a lot. That's how they do it over there, though. Eastern Europe, man. Yeah, they are. Beterbiev had over 300. Loma 300, Usyk, all of them, yeah. And they start professional late over there, yeah. Ifan Arnett says, I'm the biggest Bivol fan. This is a real tough one for me. Okay. Now, where was it? This is the final one. I'm going to drop the link after this. We're going to chop it up. Oh, man. Yeah, it's boxing. Yeah, 280 amateur fights. Okay, Roy Jones Jr. versus Dimitri Bivol at 175. Now, Bivol, as good as he is, I give him a little chance of beating Roy Jones Jr. Bivol may have a small chance of a knockout, but that's just not his game. Bivol is a great boxer, but Roy is noticeably better. It would be a good competitive matchup because Bivol is a precise, technically sound boxer. But again, Jones was something else. He broke many rules, and his unorthodox style would make it difficult for Bivol. Roy would get away with things against Bivol that you shouldn't, but he did it against everybody because he was so fast, athletic, and coordinated that he could make it work for him. Now, this matchup comes down to Roy Jones Jr.'s speed and athleticism versus Dimitri Bivol's technical boxing ability and accuracy. Jones wins a close, competitive, and clear unanimous decision. Okay, there you have it. Roy Jones versus the Legends. Next week is Smoking Joe Frazier versus the Legends. Let me put the link in. Okay, GP says, Bivol would be so frustrated against such a slick boxer as Roy. I have Roy winning by decision. Yeah, I do too, GP. Roy, in his prime, is as unbeatable as they come. Yeah, I appreciate the input in the chat too, man. I can't find the link. I'm gonna put the link in, so if anybody wants to come up and say what they think or anything else, all are welcome. Okay, all are welcome. Open door policy and all that stuff. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. I appreciate everybody that's rock with Cash Sports. Boxing history. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to talk about the best rematches of all time. Those 2-fight series where that second fight just blew the first fight off the map. Yeah, that's what's going to be tomorrow. The best rematches of all time. Wednesday, we're going to talk about stamina. Is stamina something that comes natural, or can you develop it? We're going to talk about it Wednesday. And then we're going to talk about some of the... Oh, don't hit that. God, my bad. Not right yet. We're going to talk about some of the fighters with the best gas tanks of all time. And then we're going to talk about some fighters with the worst gas tanks of all time. And like I said, I ain't mentioning no names about the bad gas tanks, Caleb, man. Okay. Agree with. Okay, I'm gonna get back to the chat in a minute. I didn't see what Let's Talk Fashion said. As soon as I get this link in there. Don't mess with that link. Yeah, God damn it, man. Excuse me, y'all. I'm gonna be quiet for 5 minutes. Okay. Here's my French. But how was everybody's weekend, man? Y'all enjoy that Keyshawn fight? Well, I looked at Lemos. You know how Loma told Devin, you heavyweight? I said, Lemos heavyweight, man. Remember that? Loma said, Devin, you heavyweight. That's what I said, Lemos heavyweight. You see his back? God damn. Look like a super heavyweight, man. But Keyshawn got the job done. And his sisters did a great job with that national anthem, man. That was fire. All three brothers won. The younger brother, he's 1-0 now. Yep, Keon. He's the youngest, but he's the biggest of the three, right? He's junior middle. There we go. Here comes the link, everybody. All that trouble, somebody better hit it. Okay, Define Arnie once says, love Matias' performance as well. Oh yeah, Matias, I forgot all about that one. Define Arnie one. Remo says, as long as Caleb couldn't make it past the 8th round, stamina is important. Yeah, that's true. Let's talk fashion. I got Roy Burks, Caleb playing in a really interesting. Yeah, Caleb would have been a good one too. Yeah. But yeah, my actors was Canelo, Bivol, and who else was it? Beterbiev. Yeah. Beterbiev might be the toughest fighter of the day. What's up, Remo?
I'm here early today, brother.
Yeah, I see.
I got a few gripes.
Come on. Bring it on.
All right. First off, I got the Canelo fight that you stated would be unanimous. I got that as a split decision.
So you got Canelo pulling off one. Who wins?
I got Roy winning.
But Canelo a little closer than I had it.
Yeah, the only reason I say that is because Roy he liked to fool around a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
true.
And
that's
he didn't
true.
like being disciplined from 1 to 12.
Right.
And Canelo got a chin on him. So Roy wasn't going to knock him out because we ain't never see that happen.
Mm-mm.
So on that note, I kind of say Roy box him for a good 6, 7, 8 rounds.
Yeah.
But at one point in time, Canelo gonna catch him with something.
Mm-hmm.
And Roy Chin kind of gummy.
That's true.
So he might get clipped and be in trouble 1 or 2 rounds, and then make it out the round, and then all right, let me stay disciplined. I can't fool around and make my way out this fight.
Right.
So I kind of got that one in a split decision, and then the one with who was that? SOG.
Oh, okay.
I kind of think Roy will win that one off of SOG was more traditional with his boxing, but I think Roy would kind of confuse him being so unorthodox.
Right.
And then the speed factor might play a factor. It was somebody else after Canelo, you said.
Better be able to Bivol, one of them two?
Better be able.
Okay.
Now that situation, I think Roy might get knocked out.
That's what GP said. Yeah.
Because at that point in time, and that weight, the special effects was leaving Roy.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
175
All of that,
too. Yeah.
Hands low, shooting from the hip. You play that if you want to against Arthur. He'll put you to sleep.
It'll only take one with him too. you know.
Yeah. So I don't know about that one right there.
Okay.
You know, and I got a fantasy for you. Roy versus Plant.
Yeah, I saw that in there. That's a good one.
Like I think Roy will beat him, but it'll be entertaining because I think Plant got enough flair. He could really box. It's just a matter of could his engine last against Roy. That's the problem.
That would be the thing, yeah. That deep could he go?
I think he could. Yeah, I think he could box with him though.
Yeah. How long could he stay effective?
What about the stamina?
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that tank. I think Roy tank will outlast him because Roy being so creative, Plant would have to get out the way of a lot of stuff.
True. What you got, GP?
None. I'm agreeing with you and Remo, but
okay.
Yeah. Better beef. I got him taking better beef. Because I think he can.
What happened? I'm still here. Still here, GP?
I'm still. I think his audio went out.
I think he dropped.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Now we can. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah. I think Roy danced circles around better beef.
Okay.
Or whatever. Too flat footed.
Yeah.
Too flat footed. When it comes to Bivol, I think it'd be a good one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good one. I think Roy dance around him as well. Actually make him frustrated. Too technical. I think that Bivol's too technical.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Let me
I
see.
agree with that.
It was this was a good joint that you had put out. Who beat Roy? I think Hagler. I think Hagler beat Roy.
Yeah, and Carlos Monzon from the 70s.
Yeah. I think Hagler beat Roy because Roy don't like dogs. Like,
yeah,
I'm on my podcast, girl. Yeah, Roy don't like dogs. So,
right. Yeah.
If you gonna bring it to him, but it is some dogs that Roy could beat with the likes of Hearns. I got Roy beating Hearns.
Okay.
Yeah, dog, but you catch him in between them wide shots.
Yeah,
Roy,
I saw that in the chat.
Very slick.
Yeah, that was a good point there. I saw you put that in there. Yeah.
AT Hill, what's going on? Who else on the panel? My bad, Rainbow. What's happening, Bruce?
Jarrell Hattie.
What's going on, man?
Is y'all still up here? Yeah.
What's happening? What's up, Joe?
Did y'all familiar with Carlos Monzon from the 70s? Now, he was a monster. He fought every second of every round. He would force you to, he would wear people down because he would make you fight, you know. Anybody was cutting the ring off, watch him, man. That's a good lesson. He knew how to do it, yeah. He was champion from 70 to 70.
Also, what we got from the Floyd Canelo fight, I think we get the same thing in the Roy fight.
With Canelo? Okay.
Yeah, we get the same exact fight.
Yeah, I can see that, y'all. Yeah.
I don't know about that one. The only reason I say because Floyd is hella disciplined with his hands, and he know like, all right, you know, I ain't gonna get too close, but I'm gonna keep him at bay. I ain't really see Roy do a lot of like he did pop shotting with that slick hand, but he kept that shit a little low, man. You know?
Yeah, no, he did.
It all depends on what stage Canelo you get. If you get Canelo after Floyd, I think Canelo was a little bit more educated when he fought. I mean, after he fought Floyd on how to really approach something.
That Canelo take a lot of breaks, man. After Floyd, he take a lot of breaks. After he take a lot of moments to rest during rounds.
Yeah, but that Canelo started punching on everything. Your arms, your chest, everything.
Yeah.
Right. He wasn't doing that at first. Yeah.
Versus Floyd, he was doing a lot of head hunting and trying to catch up with him. But now he'll break it down, and then if you really want to go, you know what I mean, blow for blow, pause like.
Yeah. You're right. Canelo hitting everything.
Who can you trust when it's time to really, like, you know?
Yeah.
I ain't never seen Canelo get knocked out the ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canelo ain't getting knocked out. Not that chin he had. Wow. They didn't even look like a piece of cinder block or something.
Hey, Cass, you mentioned Roy, the heavyweight.
Yeah.
Holyfield kills Joe in every weight.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Every weight.
Tyson too. Tyson was
Yeah,
just walking
Tyson too.
straight up in
Yeah,
there,
Tyson
too.
too.
Yeah.
Tyson is a whole different.
Like 80s, late 80s.
We're
Tyson,
talking prime versus prime. See, that's what we gotta scale it as prime versus prime, because prime Evander is a problem. The Evander that suffered some health issues, well, he's an Evander that he could be dominating, then the fight can change because he can't throw no more punches. So and we've seen James Toney take advantage of that very same fact. A very skilled fighter who was in good shape enough, and on top of that, able to put enough punches where Evander couldn't do anything but just take punches. So it depends on the Evander that you get. The same thing with Roy Jr. You take Roy pre-Montel Griffin, he's a problem from any fighter that has ever took the ring, because that man was confident, he was extremely athletic, and quite to contrary to what a lot of people say, he was very skilled as well too. So this dude right there, he's a problem for anybody. That being said, man, when your shoulder messed up, your back messed up, and on top of that, your coach got you out there running sprints in the sand hours before the fight, and you get up in there and you still take the fight and you give somebody a heck of a go for as long as you got energy in you, you a dog. And that's the case with Tommy Hearns. Tommy Hearns was up in there fatigued as hell with an injury and still getting in there, didn't want to cancel the fight with Hagler. And unfortunately, it wasn't, you had to be on your best to go against Hagler and be able to give him the business. And he was doing it with one hand. He literally fought that because he couldn't use the other hand. So he used it just to try to, because they had got word that it was messed up. So he tried to like bluff him. But the bottom line is, when he's throwing it, it ain't landing with the same ferocity. So for him to keep that man off of him for that long, knowing that he was hurt and tired, dude got dog in him, man. You know what I'm saying? Tommy Hearns got dog on him. And on top of that, the only fighter that I know that got robbed of a fight, and on top of that, they stopped the fight when he was well ahead of a fight. So, you know what I'm saying? I ain't going to go with the no dog. But shout out to my guy, GP. I love my guy, GP. Shout out to my guy, Remo. I know. I love my guy, Remo. Shout out to the young nephew, Cha, ID. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, this right here is where the rudder meets the road, because a lot of these fights, I'm saying even Canelo.
Yeah.
If you get the prime Roy Jones, Canelo got his hands full. I don't care what he hitting on.
Yeah.
He got to hit him. The one that was out there playing basketball, going up and down, scaling weights, yeah, you got something on him, maybe. But the other ones, nah, man, that Roy Jones, before he got cheated, he was focused and he was on a mission.
Yeah,
I got one more for you, T Hill. Roy Jones versus the prime Triple G.
Versus the prime who?
Triple G.
Ooh, that'd be a good fight.
Say it again.
Prime who? A prime Roy versus a prime Triple G.
Oh, Triple G, yeah.
See the thing with Triple G could take a hell of a punch, bro, and he could administer one too. But he was there to get hit. More so than
he like to rumble.
Hello? But he was there to get hit. More so than Can you hear me? Because it sounds like I'm on playback. The white dot.
I got like an echo in there.
Somebody.
It's the white dot.
Oh,
the white dot.
Oh, define on it. Go out and come in again.
But I mean, I agree with. Can you guys hear me? Stop talking. Cass muted.
Let's see.
I'm
Yo,
sorry. Let me go.
mute him, Cass.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went
I
out.
agree with Remo. I mean,
come back in again, Define on it.
I agree with Remo. It's like you never know what you get out of these fighters in that ring, and what is I mean, nobody expected Lemos to look so bad against Keyshawn. Nor we didn't think Keyshawn would look as good as he did against Lemos. But the style would have packed them going into the ring and everything. And that was the one thing that I thought really impacted the career. But Triple G, man, I love me some Triple G. But I do know that I think that I would favor Roy in that fight. I think the Roy Canelo fight is a closer fight than the Roy Triple G fight. I think Triple G won't be able to hold up to the speed and amount of barrage that Roy would deliver.
I feel AT Hill and Remo. I feel a little different. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I feel a little different. That's the only fight I'm questioning. I was questioning everybody else's stamina. I'm questioning Roy's stamina in that fight because Triple G going to apply that pressure and he can turn.
And he can punch.
Yeah, and he can punch. So I don't really know. That's a tough one. I ain't even think Triple G, but yeah, that's a tough one.
You know, I just figured Triple G because I don't think people be really giving him his roses because he was old as hell. Like we ain't even really get to see him as a young man. You know what I mean?
Right.
So shit. Like
there we go. You good now, Define on it. Yeah, there we go.
He'd have been fits, man.
And you guys hear me?
Yeah, you good now. Everything all clear. What you got for us?
Yeah, I'm questioning Roy's stamina in the Triple G fight. Like
this is fun.
Coming. He's gonna keep coming.
Some of those matches got me.
All that
running spinning, you know.
Slow down.
Define on it. Talk to us, bro. What you got for? What you think of the matchups? You there?
And the Roy Andre Ward matchup. That's
Roy against who?
He said Roy Andre Ward.
Oh, Andre Ward.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
What you think about that one? You agree with it? Roy winning?
Draw.
I just think that SOG will find a way, you know. SOG has one of the greatest IQs I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Very technical, deliberate fighter, man. Yeah. That is true. I just thought that Roy skills and all that would be a bit too. He would, like GP would say, he would probably frustrate him, you know.
I mean, I want to say for one, man, my man Remo's a hell of a matchmaker, bro. He be coming up with some nice matches, dog. I ain't gonna pay. As far as the fight, because like I say, man, you know, Triple G in his prime, that Mickey Freaky could throw a brick at you. And he would fight all night. No doubt about that. He had stamina. And he could take a punch. So, you know, you're definitely going to have to place your punches and you're going to have to work that body. I think that Roy is... Yeah, I think Roy, as far as stamina, and we question his stamina, like I said, I think Roy's biggest problem was when they took that victory away from him because they took the ability to go out there and chase that Marciano thing, and it kind of like disrupted his whole thing after that point. But we talking about a guy who took 2 fights and played a full 48 minutes on a basketball court and dominated. We talking about stamina on my man? Yeah, I don't know. I think he got stamina. When he's focused, I think he's going to be there. And I think that it's going to be a tough fight. But I think because of the assets that Cass highlighted with him, with his athleticism and his skill set, I think he puts the late theory on him and they get like a late stoppage. I don't think he knocks him out, but I think the ref just says, all right, that's enough because it's just going to be coming from different angles.
Yeah.
That's
Canelo
Roy versus Ward?
Huh?
You were saying that about Roy versus SOG?
No. Roy versus SOG. Now, I'm a big, huge Andre Ward fan. I am. But there are some people that are like, no matter how technical you are with them,
Right.
just case in point, you know James Toney, right?
Oh yeah, lights out.
Lights out, fantastic fighter,
Yeah.
very high acumen in that ring. Can work inside and outside. He fought in his prime. He fought Roy Jones Jr. in his prime. And I mean, it was like night and day up in there. Nobody has ever done James Toney the way that Roy Jones did James Toney. And it's because my man was just gifted among gifts with his athleticism. And he could bait you, goad you into doing some things. Now, he won't be able to get Andre Ward out of his game plan. And that's one thing that I will maintain, that man's discipline is the greatest discipline that I've seen in a fighter. However, you're going to get frustrated if you're throwing your stuff and it's not landing.
Right.
But you're still getting tagged, and you get tagged from awkward angles. So it depends on how that transaction goes. Is Roy able to make him miss, and then in the process of making him miss, hit him with some crazy angles that he used to provide on fighters? Because if so, then frustration will set in.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that. Well, about the Tony and Roy fight, I don't think that was a knockdown. First of all, but I think Roy won the fight. But James Toney is probably one of the greatest defensive fighters in history.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion.
No doubt. Yeah. Good defensive.
But I just think Andre Ward was like adjusting, and I mean, he adjusted to Styles in a way that I don't know. Like I said, something tells me he'll figure it out. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He may just figure it out. I wouldn't put it past him. It's just that, I mean,
he gonna listen to his trainer, Virgil Hill. He had so much respect for Virgil Hill, you know.
That being said,
you know,
yeah, for sure. And that being said, they had a great connection. He and Virgil, it was like they were an extension of one another in that ring. So I would never count him out. And then there is the caveat that, and I know Remo would be quick to point this out. Harvard had Roy Jones' number, so why can't anybody else?
Yeah.
True. And that's what I said about. That's why I was leaning more to.
That's right.
I really call it a draw, but Andre Ward, you know, they both. He got the Doug in him. Roy didn't really do too well with guys. Fuck you! I don't care if you hit me. I'm gonna get mine. So.
Well, Andre was more waiting for a reactionary than Dog in him. He had Dog to recover and keep fighting, but
right,
he was more like a reactionary boxer than anything to me personally. So I don't think Roy would have to worry about him stepping at him first. It would be him catching Roy's mistakes.
Yeah,
true.
And capitalizing on it. Not only catching, but capitalizing on it too as well.
Yeah.
If he does that, then it's going to be a tough night for Roy, for sure.
Yeah, I just think that it all depends.
You gotta capitalize.
When you quote Roy too, because man, Roy when he was young, man, he had a trigger hairline trigger in his hand, man.
Hey, I got
That reflexes like a cat.
I got a question for the host. Hey, Kaz. What version of Roy and weight classes that you think was the best?
160. Between 160 and 168. Them two.
That's when he's fighting them cab drivers.
Roy fought everybody. Don't do that to my guy.
He just needed a little bit more bump, man.
But I would say between them two classes. Because 175 cruiserweight, heavyweight. Oh, but how many fights did he fight at heavyweight?
He did fight at one. I think he had a fight or two at heavyweight. One fight.
Yeah, he did. Remember, he went all the way up there, won a title against Ruiz, and then came all the way down. He killed himself doing it. Yeah, he killed himself doing that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But you know him versus Tyson, bro. I don't care what weight that is. If he was in his prime weight and Tyson was in his prime weight, goodness gracious.
That's
Yeah,
the
but
best
Tyson would be a
shit.
little bit too much for him. The heavyweight.
Tyson,
I
Prime
agree.
versus Prime. Yeah,
That
dog
cuss
whooping,
Tyson.
man.
that
That
would be a
cuss Tyson. Yeah.
destruction
cut.
type stoppage, man. You
What
know,
did you
Yeah.
guys
just
say
think
about
the-
Bivol?
I
You
think
think
the
Roy gets
aggressive nature
Bivol?
of Mike was just too much, man.
Roy
Mike,
versus Bivol?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, man. Bivol is technical and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he proved a lot in that fight with Better
You know what?
Better
Roy versus, I think Roy versus Bivol might be similar to Roy versus Andre Ward. What y'all think about that?
No.
Well, let me put it this way. I think that Ward cleans out both Bitter. Well, I don't know, man. Maybe it'd be a little bit difficult about Better B, but I think he gets Bivol with ease. I
No
really do.
way. No way.
I
Ward?
wouldn't say with these. I wouldn't
No.
say with
That'd
these.
be
I
good.
let them
Ward?
go. But with
That would be
these,
like a chess match,
Ward?
man.
Man,
Yeah,
you
that's
know
what I say,
Ward
chess
went through. Man, Ward won a fight
Ward
and
by
people
like 3
really didn't
points.
think it was a win because he made it look so dang effortlessly, man. I don't know. Bivol, I don't know. I don't think he would pose that much of a threat to Ward.
Bivol is no Kovalev. Like, this kid is the
Right.
goods, man.
He was Kessler. It was Kessler, Kovalev. Man, my man was
Ward
fighting
ain't gonna be punching like
everybody.
no
Real
Better
high
Be
IQ
Ab on
fighter.
Bivol, you know. Ward ain't gonna have him hesitant like Better Be Ab had him, you know.
Nah, because Roy know how to pioneer the ring, bro. And that's the one thing that you're gonna need against fighters like that. You're gonna need to learn how to push them or pull them or move
T Hill,
them to the.
would you agree that Bivol and Ward are both technically sound? They don't fall in the traps. They not jumping in the trap. That's what a chess match is. Them two is a chess match.
Yeah, well, no, I would agree with that. I would agree with that statement. I'd agree with that statement.
You have to be a serious hardcore fan for that kind of fight between them two.
But this is the thing. Like,
Rory take chances. A lot of them guys, they so technical, they don't take chances.
But go back to like just the playground, and y'all having fun, and there's a fight break out, and then one of these people, they might be like equal size, equal speed, and everything, but one of them just a showman, man. He out there just stunting on the other kid. What does the other kid do? He pressed because he ain't tired of getting people reacting to the fact that he making him look back. And that's the one thing about Roy that got fighters for the most part, is how you compose yourself in that ring.
Hey, T Hill.
Go ahead.
All that pretty shit look good until you get punched in the damn nose, and then all that out the window.
You're like Mike Tyson said, "Tell you get hit in the mouth, right?"
Yeah, listen,
words never said.
In any sport, anybody that do it all cute and pretty, and then they get dunked on, they wake up. That's a beast right there. You know what I'm saying? That's when shit changes.
That's a valid point. Valid point.
Look, fellas, I hate to end this. We gotta get ready to go though. I'm like 5 minutes into Just Dudes time. Man, great.
Oh yeah. It's almost that time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It's always good having my man Remo up here. My man GP. Shout out to Define Irony 1. My man Jarrell Hadid.
Y'all must have been up here learning. He ain't say nothing. Is he still up here?
Yeah, he's still up here. He can close
John
up.
was learning, soaking it all in today.
Hey,
oh yeah.
Before I get out of here, because tomorrow I might not be here because of my daughter's birthday.
Okay.
Happy birthday to the little princess, bro.
But
how old is she, Remo?
She about to turn 6. We just left the nail
6?
salon.
Okay.
They taxing me for my pockets over here.
But
dope.
Please don't.
You made them.
Wednesday, everybody. Wednesday.
Remo, you made them.
Sure did. We got the champ in the building on Wednesday.
The champ.
We sitting down with Lamar Roach, and we
that's
talking
right.
a little fashion. We talking a little bit of him earning his spot. We talking a little bit of everything. So please don't miss Wednesday's episode, y'all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you reminded us. I remember you told me about that last week. Yeah. Lamar
Yeah,
this week.
we are here. We are here.
Yeah, we got the champ. We got the champ.
That Wednesday.
We got the champ Wednesday, 10 o'clock. Let's talk fashion.
Yeah, man.
With the fashion champ, baby.
Well, I was gonna be there anyway.
The champ of all. What you say? Casuals.
The casuals.
King of the casuals.
Yeah.
The casuals champion, baby.
Here, man. Yo,
Yeah.
Saint, man. Appreciate y'all.
Okay,
Oh,
Remo. Yeah, we'll be there Wednesday. Lamont
GP,
Roach.
my man,
Mm.
the Boxtorian, Cash Sports. The
Yes,
better
sir.
half, Mrs. Cash Sports. And to
The
the chat,
legendary
man,
Thomas
much
Hill.
love always.
Don't forget the legendary Thomas Hill. Okay, I appreciate everybody. We got to get ready to get out of here. Time for Just Do Boxing. Great panel, though, man. Wow, that was one of the. I haven't had one like that in a minute, man. But BN Boxing News, Ace, Define Arnie 1. Let's Talk Fashion. Jarrell Hattie, Thomas Hill, Gregory Pratt, Kensaw Love 1, Ant McQueen, the guy that got kicked out. I forgot his name already. Just Do Boxing, Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz and more, Mike Grimm, Ray Patterson, Ardari Pennant, Thomas Hill, Mike Mazik, Melanin Queen, Cresta Legend, and Miss Cash. And that fire panel, man. Wow. GP, Remo, Thomas Hill, Jarrell Hattie, and Define Arnie 1. Appreciate you fellows, man. Appreciate everybody. Join me tomorrow because, you know, if it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you all of that boxing history. Just Do Boxing straight ahead. This is Cash Sports. I will see y'all around those JBT streets. Matt here, salute. Appreciate you.